You want to make sure that your social media efforts are on the right track. Well, you're not going to want to miss this episode because I'm going to be diving into what you should be doing every day, every week, every month, and every single quarter to make sure that your social media efforts are on the right track. Hi, friends. I'm Katie Brinkley, and you're listening to a Rocky Mountain Marketing Quickcast. These bite-sized episodes are released every Thursday and are going to give you the latest news and tips in the world of social media that are happening right now. Let's dive into today's Quickcast episode. Welcome to this week's episode of Rocky Mountain Marketing. With social media, it seems like there's always something more that is requested of you. Well, if you're not seeing the results, you need to do more of this. Well, are you posting enough? Are you doing enough of this? And all I'm hearing is more. Wouldn't it be nice if there was some sort of a checklist to make sure that you are doing all the right things and tracking the right measurements to ensure that your social media efforts are setting you up for success? Because just posting is not enough. You have to make sure that you are showing up the right way each and every single day. I want to make sure that I emphasize show up the right way every single day, not post the right way every single day, because there's a very big difference with how you can show up on social media without even having to create a single post. I share this story a lot, but March of 2023 was a really difficult month for me. I was burnt out. I couldn't bring myself to create another social media post. I didn't feel like it. I was tired of being creative, and it happens to the best of us. With social media, we're on all the time, and people that are just creating content like every single day, more power to them. It's a lot of work, especially if you don't have a team helping you. But March of 2023 was one of my best months for Next Step Social for our agency ever. The reason why was because me and my team were still showing up on social media every single day, the right way, engaging and building relationships with our ideal client and customer. And we had enough content on our feeds so that these new people that were coming into our sphere saw what we did, who we helped, and why they should put their faith in us for their business. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. Giving you guys a daily checklist, a weekly checklist, quarterly, monthly, that will help you make sure you're checking all the boxes so that you can see more tangible results from your efforts on social media. So the very first thing I want to express here is that you don't need to post every single day. I think I've said that maybe 3 times already on this podcast, but you don't need to post every day. But you do need to show up in some capacity. So how much time do you have that you can give to these apps? Again, this is where I tell a lot of my clients who are new to me and my agency, let's scale things back, because you do need to show up on these platforms in some capacity every single day. If it's a platform that you hate, you don't want to consume content in that regard, well, it's going to be really hard for you to show up and just be present on those platforms. So scaling back to 2 platforms is a very smart move, and make sure it's 2 that you actually enjoy being on. Now that we've gotten those 2 platforms that we're on, we've made that decision. What I want you to do is to check and reply to all the comments that people have left you. Answer their questions. Even if they didn't leave a question, respond back with, "Oh, I'm so glad you found this helpful," or "I know, right? So I recently did the 90s AI trend and I got a number of comments on it." Nobody was asking for my lead magnet. Nobody was asking me questions on social media. A lot of people were just chiming in, saying what they thought about the AI generated pictures. So I could write back and say, "Yeah, that one really surprised me." Or, yeah, it was interesting that I only had 4 fingers." Get in there and respond to the comments. Check your DMs. See if anyone has sent you a message. Check to see if anyone's left you any questions on past posts, not just your most recent, but on older posts. So you want to get in and check that every single day on the 2 social media platforms that you are creating content for. You're also going to want to look to see if anyone's been mentioning you or your brand. If anyone's mentioned you, you should probably respond to it. So if somebody recently shared a reel that I made to their Instagram stories, I popped in, left them a message and said, "Thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate it." Check to see who has mentioned your brand. My friend Alex Sanfilippo, the founder of Podmatch, he goes into all the social media platforms and just types in Podmatch into the search bar to see who's talking about Podmatch. He does it for Reddit, for Instagram, for Facebook, because if anybody's talking about his company, his business, and has questions on it, he wants to be the one that's answering them instead of letting the community chime in who might not have all of the correct answers on what his product or service is. He's in there answering as the voice of the business. You're going to want to check for those mentions every single day. This next check mark, this is what moved the needle for me and my business. It was engaging. So you're going to want to find those 5 influencers or businesses that are ahead of you. For me, I'm looking at This is Virginia Kerr. I look at the Digital Buzz. I engage with Juan from IG Creator Academy. I engage with all of those accounts every single day because they are, if I'm posting on their content, posting valuable comments on their content, I know that somebody reading the comments might stumble across my comment and tootle on over to my account to see what it is that I do and what I create. You're going to engage with those 5 accounts that are bigger than you, but you have the same audience. Then you're also going to want to head on into the hashtags. Say what you will on hashtags, but if you engage with, so for me, hashtag Denver Realtor, I engage with that every single day. I'm not a realtor, but a lot of my audience is. I speak to mortgage brokerages. I speak to real estate agents. I go to a lot of home conventions and speak to that audience. So I want to make sure that those potential speaking opportunities and group coaching or webinars are being presented. If I'm a well-known person in that industry, they're going to be more excited for me to come and speak at their event. So I engage with hashtag Denver Realtor every day. Last but not least, you are going to want to check out your competitors. What are they doing? You can check it every day or you can check it every week. This moves us into the weekly checklist. The reason I say every day or every week is because your competitors might not be posting every day. So if you make a list of those 5 competitors, see what they're doing, see the type of poster that they're doing, check the ads that they're doing. How long has this certain ad been running for? If you do all of this, it's going to make it much easier for you to not have to recreate the wheel. You can say, oh, well, apparently my audience has really been digging these carousel posts where I dive into home design trends or where I'm really getting into trending audio. Look to see what your competitors are doing. I do this every week. If your competitors are posting every day, just check them out, see what they're doing every day. I know that by me checking every week, I'm still going to be up to date because I don't post every day. I only post 3 times a week. So I can just pop in every week and see what my competitors are doing. So again, now we're moving into the weekly checklist. Capitalize on your competitors' top performing content, see what they're doing that's working, and you can replicate that. I'm not saying copy, I'm saying see what they're doing and how can you tailor it for your business and your brand. You're also going to want to check the results of what your content is doing, your campaigns. So for me, Mondays used to be the best day for me to post a reel. I took the summer off. My mom had some serious health issues. I had my daughters at home. I couldn't post that often. I was posting even less in the summer than 3 times a week. So my algorithm got a little wanky. But now, what used to be Mondays were my best day for reels, I've been having to try and test different days for my reels and my carousel posts to see which one's going to get the most reach. Is it trending audio? Is it me talking? What is it that's getting the most reach for these reels? Look to see what you're doing, what's working and what isn't. Were you using hashtags? What location tag did you do? Did you post in the morning or in the afternoon? Once you find something that works, try it again the following week and see if you can replicate that. I also think that every week, if you have an ad budget, you should be looking to see what your top performing content is. If you have something that's performed really well organically, might as well throw $50 behind it, $100, $1,000, depending on what your budget is, and give it some more juice. See how much more reach you can get out of it because it already performed well with your organic audience. How would it do with a fresh audience? Last but not least, every single week, you should be creating content for next week. This is a once a week thing. Create your content for next week. I'm a huge believer in batching your content. And if you batch your content, you're never going to be stuck saying, oh my goodness, I don't have anything to post. Again, I'm speaking from experience here. I batched a ton of content and I ran out this summer when life got crazy. If you're doing your content creation once a week, not posting on the fly, I'm not saying that you can't post on the fly, but if you already have other posts that are ready to go, then you can say, I feel like posting today. I'm going to move the planned post to tomorrow, or I'll create this post that I'm feeling inspired to create. I'll go ahead and post it tomorrow because I already have something going out today. Create your content in advance for the upcoming week. All right, so we've gone through the daily and the weekly. Let's move on to the monthly. I do monthly reports for all of my clients. We look at your audience, what reels did the best, which posts did the best, where have things shifted. Because all of a sudden, if we have a reel that goes viral, but it goes viral in the Philippines, that's going to mess up a whole bunch of our analytics for my mostly US-based audience. So check to see what you're doing and what type of content, again, has performed the best. Then you can adjust your strategy for the upcoming month. I also think it's a great time to once again check your competitors, check the hashtags that you used, look at your performance of your competitors. What posts were they doing that did really well? Are they doing ads? What do their ads look like? This is the time where you get down and you do all the data and the analytics for everything. I also want you to sit down and brainstorm what content or campaigns you want to talk about next month. We're getting close to the holidays. If you are a product-based business, you probably should be planning your holiday marketing. You should be planning what type of content you want to talk about on social, which product you want to promote each week. If you're a t-shirt design company, do we want to talk all t-shirts for the month of November, or do we want to talk about a certain logo, or do we want a certain graphic? Do we want to talk about that graphic in t-shirt, backpack, and sticker form? I mean, you should know all of this. Each month, you should spend the time to sit down and really look to see what is it that I want to be talking about next month with my social media, my email, my blogs, everything. Because when you have this in mind, it's going to make the content creation process so much easier. Last but not least, with all of this, before I give you that last tip for the monthly content or the monthly checklist, I use an incredible tool. You all know I'm a big fan of Loomly, but I also am a really big fan of a tool called Metricool, Metricool. If you're interested in learning more about Metricool, go to katiebrinkley.live/Metricool. That is my affiliate link. I use them for all of my reporting. I can tailor each report for every client. I get not just social reports, I get website reports, RSS feeds, everything. So if you want to get the shortcut for looking into all these data and analytics for your digital marketing efforts, I strongly recommend Metricool. And again, you can check it out at katiebrinkley.live/Metricool. All right, last thing on the checklist is to decide what your primary content focus will be for the upcoming month. So you've brainstormed those ideas. Now we need to figure it out week by week. What will you be talking about? Are there potential power partners that you could team up with to go live with on Instagram? Could you do an email list swap? I'm going to go back to the t-shirt company. If you're a t-shirt company and you've worked with a brewery in the past and made stickers for them, maybe you could do an email list swap, or maybe you could do a joint promotion together at the brewery and you could bring your t-shirts. Figure out what type of collaboration opportunities are out there. Again, collaborating is one of my favorite ways to expand your reach. If you're planning everything out in advance, if you want to do weekly partnerships, monthly partnerships, you can have this entire strategy built out so that you can talk about it every single week or throughout the month to ensure that you have as much opportunity as possible to get your brand's awareness up. Last but not least, some quarterly checks that you should be doing on this checklist. If you're posting without any goals, and a follower count is not the only goal that you should be thinking about, think about your KPIs and what partnerships you want to have. Do you want to get more opportunities speaking on stage? Do you want to have some more sponsors? What is it that you want to have? Make sure that you evaluate what your KPIs are, and that way you can adjust the strategy as needed. If you can say like, well, actually, whenever we do reels, we get at least 1 out of every 10 reels we post goes viral. And from one viral video or one viral reel, we get at least 5 new clients. Well, maybe you should be posting to social media every single day and should increase the amount of reels that you're doing. So look to see what your KPIs are and make the adjustments for your strategy as needed. Also, you're going to want to make sure that all of your content posted for the upcoming quarter and this last quarter is on brand. Did you kind of just start posting random things because you found yourself getting into a routine of posting on the fly? You weren't posting with intention. You weren't batching your content. See what any of your long-term campaigns or your ad campaigns, which ones were working, which ones worked the best. How can you replicate that? And then set those targets for the upcoming quarter based on what your overall social goals are. Again, follower count shouldn't be everything. For social media, this is an awareness platform. How are you building out the brand awareness and the brand loyalty for your business? Leads are going to come from you showing up consistently and providing value and helping people. Saying what it is that makes you different, talking about your offer, showcasing your offer in the natural environment. If you're a product-based business, be showing those candles or those t-shirts on your ideal client and customer. You have to be showing up regularly and consistently, but with a strategy in place. And when you have all of these key things in place, you're allowed to show up less, 3 or 4 times a week, and show up effectively. Showing up daily by engaging with your target audience, engaging with those power partners, engaging with other people in your industry and seeing what your competitors are doing is only going to help you. All right, so this might sound like a lot to do, but honestly, it's just checking in. There's tools out there that will help you. Again, my favorite is Metricool, katiebrinkley.live/Metricool. I think that when you go in with a strategy, you can go into social media less. You can get in and get out while still building a community around your business or your brand. I hope that you take this checklist, write them out, put it on a Post-it note on the side of your computer or on your wall. Do these things every day, every week, every month, and every quarter, and use these social media tools that will help get you further and grow your business, but more importantly, grow a community around your brand. Thanks so much for listening to this week's episode of Rocky Mountain Marketing. Make sure to subscribe so that you can continue navigating the world of entrepreneurship. And I'd love to hear from you. Please leave the show a review and connect with me on social media. You can find me on Instagram at @IamKatieBrinkley or connect with me on LinkedIn. And if you're ready to start making some sales on social media, be sure to grab my free guide to selling in the DMs without being spammy. You can get that at katiebrinkley.com. Let's keep taking your marketing to all new heights.